Welcome to my exhibit. My name is Susan Moran, and this is at the North Campus Research Complex at the University of Michigan. The show is really an opportunity for me to exhibit work that covers themes having to do with nature, combination of natural and man-made objects, use of found textiles, collage, stitching, traditional textile techniques such as resist dyeing, and sort of synthesizing all of those things together and putting my own take on it. So I want to talk for a minute about how I developed these prints, this group that you'll see in a minute here. I was interested in the idea that I could collect a series of images that were medallion shaped that I found either in the natural environment or man-made environment. And then I structured them into panels that kind of alluded to nature, but also had these mysteriously sized objects such as nuts, manhole cover, and then images that I drew and then made silk screens of. I like to work in a series, and so you'll see this one over here is the same sort of idea. There's a lot of hand stitching in my work because I really love to slow down and do that, and I also like to enhance the surface. The other thing that is common in what I do is to take advantage of the fact that it's a textile, that fabrics have different qualities, and that I can layer them and take advantage of their inherent natures. Because fabric is flexible, I would prefer to display that aspect of its nature rather than kind of stretch it on a frame or contain it by putting a backing and quilting on it. The milkweed plant. I think it's a Michigan native plant, and it goes through a super interesting cycle. It produces these wonderful leathery leaves and then blossoms. Flower heads are this incredible sort of brownish pink color. And then it evolves into making the pods that everybody recognizes. And so I did 2 panels of the milkweed, and this is a resist dye process here. So this fabric starts out white, and I do a drawing on it with a needle and thread, describing all these various lines, and then I gather up the line of stitching so tightly that dye can't penetrate those areas, and it goes into a dye bath, and I get this image. This one is called correspondence. There's a connection, between nature and man-made. This panel has a lot of deliberately rough edges. I wanted it to be dangling down and sort of unraveled, but I also wanted to say I meant to do that. It's supposed to look like that. It's supposed to be a little bit uneven, so it does have a very clean edge for the back layer. I'm going to talk about this piece here, which is called Walnut Game. There's several meanings to the title. The first meaning is that it's based on a game board, or thinking about tic-tac-toe. The other meaning is that it's dyed with black walnuts. That's a resist dye. Again, the lines are stitched into the fabric, gathered up, and then it's put in a dye bath made from black walnut hulls, and then collaged on top of that and embroidered. This print is called Queen of Leaves, and I made it by drawing this large leaf image and then printing it and inverting the leaf itself. And when I did that, I knew that there were going to be other elements balancing the two leaves, but what really struck me was the way it resembled a playing card. And so I kind of went with that very formal, very, very balanced, symmetrical layout. And this, again, has a combination of natural objects like the acorn and the nuts, combined with this and this. These two objects are configurations made out of hardware, basically. This piece is a continuation of the idea of collage, but also breaking up the fabric. So here I was deliberately printing and then cutting out parts of the print and taking chunks of the design and reassembling them on a backing. And then this is a collage drawing here. This is based on an impression I had of the Lake Michigan shoreline. The contrast between very, very large boulders and tiny rocks, and the very kind of spare look to the landscape. So this is silk screened, has collaged fabric added on to the paper, and then also hand drawing.